Hi, fun recap here. Today, I'll be explaining an interesting Ghanaian movie titled Beyonce. Have fun watching. The movie begins with a scene where we see a lady called Beyonce who appears to be the president's daughter having a conversation with one of her friends who was also a daughter of one of the ministers of their state. Beyonce tells her about her interest in politics and her plans on getting into that field despite her father being the president of the state. In the next scene, a young man called Raj was attacked by robbers and shot on the spot. The scene was witnessed by a young lady who was passing by at the time. Raj pleaded with the lady to help him and she went to his aid. She called a taxi and they rushed him to the hospital immediately. The doctor refused to attend to him because they had no police report and had to present it before they attend to him because he was shot. Ashley pleaded with them to just attend to him because he was dying, but they refused that until she brings a police report. They weren't going to do anything about it. She rushed to the nearby police station to get a report, but the officers refused to give her any report if she doesn't bring the person who was injured. She told them he was shot and dying and that she couldn't bring him at the moment, but the police officers said they didn't care, that they were just doing their job. A nurse who had pity on the lady from how she was going up and down without a report and the doctors insisting on not caring for the injured patient, she had pity on her and gave her a note and asked her to take to a nearby pharmacy that the person would take care of him, which she did. She then went to tell Raj's mom about her son and what had happened and where he was currently, and the mother thanked her, after which she left. Some weeks later, Raj had fully recovered but was still upset because he had no information about the lady who had saved her and that he couldn't even say thank you to her, but his mom didn't care about it. Few days later, his friend invited him to a party one night, and while they were having fun, she recognized the singer who came to sing as the lady who had saved her some weeks back. After her performance, he followed her outside to say a proper thank you and introduce himself to her. He told her how grateful he was to her for saving his life, that ever since then he hadn't been able to take her off his mind, and that he thinks he was in love with her, and also complimented her that she was very beautiful, after which they exchanged contact. In the next scene, the lady whose name was Ciara takes Raj and his friend to her home and introduced them to her niece, whom lived with her. One day, Beyonce goes to the mall to shop, where she sees Raj also shopping and develops interest in him because of his appearance. She approached him and introduced herself and tells him that he was very cute. Raj also says he has been seeing her on TV and that she was very pretty. They had a short conversation, after which Beyonce gives Raj her card and asks him to contact him, that he will be expecting a call from him, and also insisted on paying for his items. In the next scene, Beyonce invites Raj to her house, where they got to speak more and get to know each other even better. Raj and Ciara start dating and seem to enjoy each other's company more than any other thing. Beyonce invited Raj's family over for dinner, where they got talking and Raj's mom couldn't stop complimenting Beyonce. Beyonce later starts flirting with Raj and tells him she was in love with him, but Raj was adamant and tells her he had a girlfriend. She takes Raj to her room and continued flirting with him till he couldn't resist him anymore and they got intimate. In the next scene, Raj goes to Ciara's house with a new car and starts shouting and dancing around about how excited he is about his car, and they pour champagne together with his friend. But throughout the celebration, Ciara kept asking him how he got it, and when Raj told him it was a gift from Beyonce, she tells him he wasn't comfortable with his friendship with her, but Raj tells him not to worry, that it was just friendship. Beyonce also tells her friends about her relationship with Raj and how excited she was and how much in love she was with him. And her friend tried advising her that people like them were mostly approached by opportunities that Raj could be one. But Beyonce didn't care and just said she was in love, and then Raj loved her too. So her friends had to keep their thoughts to themselves. In the next scene, Beyonce goes to Raj's house to ask of him because she hadn't heard from him for days and he wasn't around at the time, so his mom welcomed her warmly They had a conversation and his mom tells Beyonce about a business she planned on starting but didn't have the funds to, and Beyonce promises to help her make all the procedures easy for her and also was willing to give her money for whatever business it was, which made her so happy and she started thanking her on the spot. Just then, Raj walked in with Ciara and introduced her to the family as his girlfriend and introduced Beyonce to her as the friend he had been telling Ciara about. That helps him a lot. Beyonce gets angry and requests to speak to Raj alone outside. Ciara tried being nice, but Raj's mom and sister kept giving her death glares, which made her really uncomfortable and she sought permission to leave. Beyonce asked Raj angrily why he had embarrassed her like that earlier inside after sleeping with her. That she thought they had a relationship and that he was in love with her. But Raj reminded her that he had told her earlier that he had a girlfriend, that person was Ciara and she's the one he loved and not Beyonce, which made her really angry and she slapped him hard across his face before leaving. Beyonce, who was outside at that time, heard everything and steps out to leave when Raj explained to her that there was nothing going on between him and Beyonce, that day he had to sleep with her because he couldn't resist her. But Ciara takes her leave anyway. That day, Beyonce returns home with tears in her eyes, and when her friend asked her what had happened, she told them it was Raj, and they didn't seem surprised at all. One day, Raj's mom spoke to him and tried convincing him to let him stop having a relationship with Ciara and focus on Beyonce instead. She said Ciara was just a poor orphan who worked at a club for survival and had no future. But Beyonce, on the other hand, had class and was also the president's daughter with so much integrity and was beautiful as well. But Raj tells her mom that it was Ciara he liked and that no matter what they did, he would marry Ciara and live with her instead of Beyonce, which made his mom so angry and disappointed in him. But he didn't care and left the house. His friend also tried talking to him to channel his energy on building a solid relationship with Beyonce because she was giving him money and spending on him, buying him cars and everything he needed, that she was the one for him and not Ciara. But Raj tells him he didn't care about what the money or whatever Beyonce is doing for her. That was Ciara that he loved and was willing to stay with. So no matter what they did, Ciara that she's moving with, and that was fine now. One day, Raj's mom goes to Ciara's house to warn her to stay away from her son, that her son had been talking to her anyhow just because of her. One evening, Raj took Ciara shopping when Beyonce and her friends also came to the same mall to shop. When Beyonce spotted them, she told her friends that was the girl who Raj had been cheating on her with. And her friends even complimented Ciara that she was really pretty and they looked good together, which made Beyonce very angry. One day, Raj takes Ciara to their house again, even though she wasn't comfortable. He claimed his mom wasn't around and then he wanted to spend time with her in their home. Immediately after he left to get drinks for them, Sister appeared from nowhere and started warning Ciara to stay away from her brother, that he's meant to be with Beyonce and not a peasant like her. She kept insulting Ciara and calling her names like she was a club girl, and when Ciara tried saying something to her, she started hitting her anyhow and beating her, slapping her across her face that she should leave her brother alone. When Raj appeared at the scene and pulled her sister off and warned her to stay clear of Ciara. This day, Beyonce paid Ciara an unexpected visit just to warn her to stay away from Raj, whom she referred to as her boyfriend. And in return, she was willing to give her any amount of money she wanted. But Ciara rejected her offer, which got her really angry, and she hurt her before leaving her place. When Raj found out, he went to Beyonce's house to warn her to stay away from Ciara and his life permanently, that he didn't like her and didn't want to have anything to do with her, that he even returned the car she had bought for him. One day, while Raj and Ciara were going for a walk, they were approached by unknown men who asked them weird questions because they were together and even beat Raj to the extent that he couldn't walk and poured some chemicals on Ciara's face before leaving them. Raj woke up in the hospital and started asking about Ciara immediately. His sister to the doctor took him to go see her, and when he saw her, her face looked very damaged. The doctor then told them that a very strong chemical, which was even stronger than acid, was poured on her face. Beyonce later visited Raj at the hospital and offered to pay for his bills. She went to see Ciara as well and told her that was what she would get for going after her man. She then offered her a deal that she would pay for her to be transferred to a better clinic for her facial surgery to be done, and that she would take all the cost for her to get a new face and a new appearance. But in return, she will have to stay away from Raj and his family after her return. That to Raj and anyone else, she will be pronounced dead. She was transferred to a better clinic as Beyonce had promised earlier for her facial treatment to be done. Raj kept asking of Ciara every day, but Beyonce visited instead, and Raj thanked her for taking the cost of his treatment. Raj was later told that Ciara had died, that she couldn't survive there. He cried for days and continued blaming himself for Ciara's death, that he wasn't there with her even when she was dying, and that she died because of him. Raj visited Ciara's niece from time to time and gave her money for anything she needed. She told her that if she needed anything, she should ask him, that now that Ciara was gone, she was his responsibility, that he would take care of her. At least that was the only thing he could do now in return for the love she had for her. Ciara about everything Raj has been doing for her ever since he learned she was dead, and how he has been visiting from time to time, and that made Ciara even more emotional. Ciara's surgery was successful and her face changed completely after the surgery. Even though she was still Ciara and she still looked pretty, she couldn't identify herself as Ciara when she looked in the mirror. Beyonce had Raj all to himself, and she even bought him a new house after they started dating. When Ciara returned home from the hospital, Raj visited again, and this time around he met her, but Ciara's niece introduced her to him as someone who was a family friend, that her name was Mercy and she was staying with her now since her auntie was no more, and Raj understood. Beyonce became happier and happier as the days went by, because she now had Raj all to herself and she didn't have to worry about any other thing or lady coming between them. And also she was successful, had money, good relationship, and everything she ever wished for. One day Raj and Beyonce went to the pub, and over there Mercy was invited to sing as if it was Ciara. Raj recognized the voice that sounded the same as Ciara's voice. After her performance, Raj followed her outside to have a conversation with her. He told her that she reminded him of someone whose name was Ciara, and that she used to sing at this same pub, just like the way she sang, that he wanted them to be friends and requested for her contact, which she gave him. When they got home, Beyonce was really upset and asked Raj why he did that and had to take the club girl's contact right in her presence. But Raj told her that he loved Beyonce, he loved Ciara even though she was gone, and still couldn't take her off his mind. That the girl she was referring to as club girl reminded him a lot of Ciara. That's why she went for the contact, which made Beyonce really upset. The next day, Beyonce visited Mercy to warn her to stay away from Raj again, that she knew she was Ciara, and that if she doesn't stay away from Raj, she will kill her completely. One day, Raj found photos of Ciara during her surgery and threw her to her transformation in Beyonce's bag, and that was when he realized that Ciara was the same girl who had returned as Mercy. He went to her house immediately to have a conversation with her, after which they reunited. Raj later tells Beyonce that he was working on some business projects and needed to travel out of the country to make it a success. And even though everything seemed weird to Beyonce, she had to understand him. She later made a call that she wanted both Ciara and her niece eliminated. Raj later went to tell Ciara that he had gotten all their paperwork done and that everything was ready for them to travel out of the country to start their life at fresh without any Beyonce disturbing them, which made her very happy. On the day they were leaving to go meet Raj so they could travel together, one man in a taxi appeared at the scene and shot both of them, and Ciara's niece died on the spot. They got admitted to the hospital and Raj went to visit them. But after seeing Ciara, when she asked of her niece, he was told that she died on the spot. Beyonce later went to the hospital and bribed the doctor to inject Ciara to death, but the doctor refused and she threatened him if he doesn't. He still couldn't bring himself to do it, so he told Ciara about Beyonce's plan and made a plan with her. So when he takes Beyonce to go see her, she should pretend to be dead as if the injection was poisonous and had killed her. And she did just that. Aside Beyonce, Raj was also meant to believe that Ciara was dead. Raj's mother quickly got involved and a planning of Beyonce's wedding with Raj took place. On their wedding day, Ciara returned unexpectedly from nowhere and shot Beyonce to death. But it was done in such a way that nobody knew that it was Ciara, and nobody even saw her at the scene or could suspect that she was involved in whatever happened to Beyonce that day. Beyonce, the end. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos like this. See you on the next episode.